Today's email comes from Mr. Bill Cavino from Troy, New Hampshire. And Bill writes this: Dear Gary, I have a 2002 Hurricane. The paint on the onboard propane tank is peeling and shows some surface rust. I know that the regulations for small cylinders, for instance, he mentions a 20-pound portable cylinder, are about 10 years. What are the rules and regulations for the built-in propane containers on motorhomes? Bill, that's a good question. The DOT cylinders, as they're called, either DOT meaning Department of Transportation or TC. You may see a /TC behind it, which stands for Transport Canada. The DOT cylinder is common to the towable RVs, where you have them on the front of the travel trailer or in a side compartment or in a truck camper, for instance. Typically, they need to be recertified the first time from 12 years after the time it was manufactured. There's a date stamp on every LP container, every propane container. And on the DOT cylinders, it will be on the collar. Like if you have a barbecue grill or something, you can check on the collar of that cylinder to determine the actual date when that tank or when that cylinder was manufactured. And the first recertification period is 12 years after the date of that original manufacture, and then every 5 years afterwards. Canada, it's a little bit different. I believe it's 10 years for Canada after the date of manufacture, and then every 10 years after that, it has to be recertified. But on our motorhomes, typically we all have what's called an ASME tank. We use the term tank when we're talking about the ASME propane tanks on motorhomes, ones that are bolted to the chassis or to the frame of the motorhome. That falls under a different set of rules. That's the ASME, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, where the DOT cylinders, Department of Transportation, is a totally different set of circumstances. Here's the thing, we're lucky in the motorhome world because we do not have to recertify the ASME tanks. They require no certification or recertification, if you will, after the motorhome has been built and we're out there using them every day. But we do have to have them inspected periodically. I always recommend an annual inspection of the propane tank on the motorhome, because it may be exposed to the elements, it may be exposed to the traveling down the road. So you want to look for nicks and gouges and any kind of road trash or damage. That's why our propane regulators must be enclosed, because we may get salt spray or snow and ice and sludge and everything else if we travel in the wintertime. So the best thing is to fully inspect it. Take a flashlight and a mirror maybe down there if you have an exposed ASME tank. Inspect all the way around it. Look for dings, look for damage. They can be repainted if you have a situation where you've got it a little bit of rust showing. You can lightly sand that rust away, and then always apply a fresh coat of paint to help protect the tank. One thing it should be a reflective type paint. Typically it's white or a silver in color. But basically, there is no recertification process necessary for the ASME tanks. Just keep it clean, inspect it periodically, put a fresh coat of paint on it if you have any type of rusting or anything else taking place, and you're good to go.